headed to Campobello, a tiny island with a stunning storybook setting and some regionally magnificent food. Along the way, we sort out a few bike problems, do a bit of cooking, learn to make the local fish chowder, take an American detour, and meet some colorful locals.
No, my goodness.
Hi, I'm Kix. I love food, travel, and motorbikes. This year, I wanted to see my own backyard, Canada. So I decided to ride the second largest country in the world, coast to coast, on a 250cc dirt bike. It was an incredible opportunity to see the real Canada from inside the kitchens of real Canadians. These are the people and foods that make up this incredible country. Welcome to the Cook in Canada motorcycle adventure.
Bienvenue at Drummondville, Quebec.
With all the maple madness of Montreal in the last episode, I ran out of time to change my balding rear tire there. Yet, with a little biker luck, I met up with a local in Drummondville, home to arguably the first ever poutine creation.
Bonjour!
Stefan, who had met through an online biker group, knew nothing about me. Yet, he put up this great welcome sign with my name on it and invited me over to help me change my tire.
Merci. Bonjour. Oh, hello, little dog.
Good thing too, as you can see, if I'm left to do things alone, tools tend to go flying around the shop. But it didn't end there. He then invited me in for lunch, made me a sandwich, fed me some cider, and then showed me the most hilarious helmet I've ever seen. To freak people out, he put a photo of his face looking through his helmet on the back of his helmet. When you ride up behind him, he's staring you right in the face. Hilarious. Then, after this 5-star service that you would not find in any tire shop on the planet, I head back out on the road and spend a few days winding down the water's edge of the St. Lawrence, through some stunning landscapes and meeting more interesting locals.
That's awesome.
Before exiting into New Brunswick.
What feels like New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, 𝗞𝗄𝗅 is actually Quebec. Look at that lighthouse. Woo-hoo. That's one big ass submarine. We're somewhere in Quebec on the very east coast. I don't even know the name of this town. Saint something. They're all called Saint something. And I think this is called the something of Ireland.
I'm headed from Drummondville, Quebec, following along the St. Lawrence and through the beautiful Gaspé region of Quebec, filled with stunning road trip-worthy landscapes and incredible motorcycle riding into New Brunswick. Working my way across the province to tiny Campobello Island, just on the edge of Maine, USA. In typical fashion, while hoping to avoid as much traffic as possible, I managed to make a wrong turn and ended up on this bumpy gravel road.
Welcome to the backroads of New Brunswick.
I did manage to avoid the traffic, but I'm definitely not saving any time here.
Although I do enjoy the lack of traffic, but it is a little bumpy for sure.
But it's here, at this metaphorical and literal intersection of life, I see a sign from Jesus. For real, an actual sign from Jesus.
Your sign here. Ye must be born again. John 3-7. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Repent and believe the gospel. Did Jesus really say that? Did he say I'm the way, the truth, and the life? Any of you well-versed Bible readers? Is that a true statement? Seems like a pretty bold statement. But I suppose he was a pretty bold guy by the sounds of it. So, maybe that's what he said. Hopefully this is the way. And the map's telling the truth. I sure do like this life. So, maybe I'll put that on a sign.
Riding all these gravel roads had caused some buildup on my chain guard, which was now falling off. While stopping at this gas station to do some repairs, a friendly local came up for a little chat. Funny guy, but we did have a bit of a language barrier issue. I was hoping for a mechanic, and he was hoping for someone that could actually speak his language.
No, my goodness.
Too bad. I was hoping you could fix this for me. What's your name?
Papa.
Jean-Paul? Yeah, I was trying to fix my bike here. It seems to be having some problems. I was hoping you were a mechanic. I'll put this back on and hope for the best here. It's a little dirty.
No mechanic.
No?
No problem. And.
No problem.
And.
Okay, I gotta put this back on here and hope for the best.
And. Bonne route.
Yeah? Merci.
And.
Okay.
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 Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Merci.
Ciao.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Between weather, packing, and general abuse, a hat lasts me about 3 to 4 months on the road. I just bought this hat and had it tied to the back, or so I thought.
Hey there, little Cap. Don't think you're gonna get away from me. I don't really get how that came off. I thought it was snapped up properly.
But I noticed it's spinning down the highway. This one isn't likely to make it the full 4 months.
Okay, clearly I'm struggling with getting the hat through the bag. Oh my god. Okay, we're in. Okay, just a quick 25-minute layover here to get this back together. Maybe that's why I didn't do it right the first time. It's because it's so friggin' hard. Okay, hat. You're not going anywhere. Back on the road, take 2. Anybody coming? Nope. Okay, off we go.
Campobello Island is tucked in southwestern New Brunswick, within walking distance to Maine, USA. The location is isolated just enough to maintain its charm, relatively unbothered by either country. The island has no road connection with mainland Canada. During the summer, you need to take 2 separate ferries, which is how I arrived, or can be accessed by first crossing into the US, then re-entering via the Franklin D. Roosevelt Bridge from Lubec, Maine. But I didn't have a passport.
So rushing to catch the ferry here. That leaves at 4 o'clock. And it is 3:57.
I was trying to catch the last ferry of the day to Deer Island that would take me to Campobello, and ended up behind some guy driving at turtle speed on these narrow winding roads that are very difficult to pass on. Oh man.
Come on, ferry. Hold the ferry. The last kilometer. 500 meters to go. Come on, Deer Island Ferry. Oh, what?
Made it!
Oh, sweet. Hopefully it hasn't loaded yet.
But I'm warned that I might be cutting it close to catch the last ferry to Campobello Island.
Right there? The ferry that goes to Campobello?
It's on the half hour leaving Deer Island.
Okay, so 5:30 and then not again until 6:30?
I don't even know. I think they tie up 6:30, so you're gonna. What time is it now?
5:02. I don't want to be on the last ferry. Yeah, you never know about that one.
Right, that's what I was speaking, right?
Okay, I'll go a little faster.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
whatever. Yeah, not a problem.
Okay.
Well, good luck.
Thanks a lot, thank you.
No problem, man.
One ferry down, 1 to go. Oh, how nice, I'm the last person off the fucking boat. The other ferry leaves in 5 minutes. It's a 15-kilometer drive.
Well, we missed the ferry.
And no ferry.
Good news, there's one more. Bad news? I need to wait here for an hour before the next one arrives to come and grab us.
Last ferry of the day. We're off. I'm not sure, maybe he's like the recycle dude. Campobello, here we come. Chowder soup day. Thanks for the ride. See you later.
This small but stunning 39.6 kilometer square island has wonderful seaside views, breathtaking lighthouses, and incredible tree-covered roads for riding. But I'd come here for the food. And I found it. A little red cottage down a gravel road named for the family of the lady I was going to meet, Miss Sylvia Tinker of Tinker's Lane, whose family has lived down this road for so long it's named for them. I'm here to learn Sylvia's recipe for Foggy Island Fish Chowder. I was having some technical difficulties. After spending the night in the campground, all of my camera gear was cold. On top of this, it was a fairly foggy day on this foggy island. As soon as I entered this warm cottage, my camera gear kept steaming up. I had to constantly try to clear the lens and take the camera apart to clean it. This shoot would truly be the day of Foggy Island Chowder. I love this lady. As soon as I walk in the door, she gets my name.
What's your name?
Kix.
Kix?
Yeah, nice to meet you.
And instantly jumps into the history of fish chowder on the island.
So years ago they made chowder different than they do now.
Yeah.
Now the younger people use cream and milk.
Okay.
We use canned milk. Salt pork, you fry out your salt pork, put that in after everything's cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally different than the ones they make nowadays. They use the potatoes and the fish. They don't put salt pork in theirs. Yeah, see, years ago they had these ingredients. They had to have them. They'd have a pig, they'd slaughter it, it would be for winter.
Yeah.
And they would salt their pork. And they would plant their potatoes, they'd have their own potatoes, and the fish was plentiful, plentiful.
Yeah.
My grandfather was a fisherman, my father was a fisherman.
She says something right away that I'll never forget, and I think only islanders could relate to. As kids, they ate a lot of fish. Fried, boiled, chowdered, smoked, you name it. But one of her most memorable moments as a child was when her dad came home with macaroni for the first time, and it was such a treat to eat this rare, dried pasta. There was definitely nothing rare about a box of KD on the menu in the landlocked location where I grew up.
It is fairly foggy today. My stuff has been fogging up.
A quick break to clear the lens again, and we're back to clear shooting. Dear Netflix, please give me a film crew.
Well, to start off with, I have 5 medium-sized potatoes.
Oh yeah.
You determine how many you're going to feed by 1 potato for each person.
Okay.
So this will feed 5 to 6. If you keep it for 2 or 3 days, the better it gets.
Yeah.
You want to cut
Sure,
potatoes?
let's do it. Whatever you want
and
me to do.
I'll show you what size.
Okay.
About like this, say.
Yeah. And so why did Campobello is like a fish chowder so much?
You know, a lot of people were fishermen here.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was just a staple for the island. Easy to get, easy to prepare.
Yeah. And usually cod, or what's the usual fish?
No, we use pollock or haddock.
Oh, pollock or haddock. Oh,
Yes.
okay. And is the pollock or haddock, is there a difference in the fish? Like, is there a density or anything like
Yeah,
that?
there's a difference. The haddock cooks down more. The reason I use pollock is because it holds up better.
Okay. And so as kids, what other fish dishes would you have? You said boiled?
Either fried or another one we have too is saltfish dinner is really good.
What's a saltfish dinner? You just dry it out with salt, or is there?
Salt fish. They salt their fish for the winter.
Yeah.
And then you have to soak it out overnight. And then you change the water on it the next day.
Yeah.
And soak it out until you use it. Because it's really salty.
So they would take the fish and sort of like cut it, dry it, salt it so it's cured.
Yeah.
And then the way to rehydrate it is to let it soak.
Right.
Got it.
There, now we'll cut up an onion. I use usually 1 onion, but this is small.
Yeah.
So I'm using 2 today.
And I heard the foghorn pretty regular since I've been here. Does it go year round too, or is it just the summer?
Just when it's foggy out, that's
Oh,
all.
it literally turns on and off when.
Yes, it's automatic now.
I
Yeah.
see.
The foghorn Sylvia is referring to goes off whenever there is fog around the island, which is pretty often. The following day, I was out taking photos of one of the island's lighthouses that you can walk to at low tide, and that ambient foghorn was rumbling in the background.
Actually, you hear that? Can you hear the lighthouse? Or the foghorn? Whenever it's foggy, which is pretty often around here, then the foghorn in the background warns where the island is to keep people from crashing into it. But I could hear it all last night, actually, so it must have been pretty foggy. You could hear it echo across the islands. Must be one in the distance over there and one over here. If you time this right, in this little bay right here, when the tide's down, you can walk across here and walk up to the lighthouse on the other side over there. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.
Whenever the fog comes in to warn the boats, they're close to land.
Yeah, thought to myself, I wondered if the locals could sleep on the mainland without the silent hum of a foghorn in the background.
Campobello has a unique relationship with the US due to its close location and long historic ties. The island traded ownership numerous times over the years. In the 1880s, it was developed as a resort destination for affluent Americans and Canadians, attracting such families as the Roosevelts, who had property here. Today, the unique Roosevelt Campobello International Park is the only park in the world managed by both USA and Canada. You can tour the Roosevelt home and learn the history of former President Franklin D. Roosevelt's association with the island. Sylvia tells me a bit about her life and what it was like growing up in this part of the world. She was born over the bridge in the USA, like a lot of people here were, and even one of her sons was born there. The 274-meter-long Franklin D. Roosevelt Memorial Bridge that connects Campobello, Canada to Lubec, USA, has seen a lifetime of Canadian-raised, American-born individuals who call Canada home, but have a rooted connection to the US. What an interesting way to grow up.
They seem to understand, you know,
Yeah.
that we're on a little island and people do have to get over to get gas.
Yeah. This fuel problem Sylvia is referring to was something I could relate to. I had zero intentions of going to the US on this cross-Canada motor trip, but I would not be going anywhere without any more fuel. So here we are, headed to Maine without a passport to get some fuel. Let's see what happens.
Hello there.
Luckily, they're used to people like me, and having a photo of my passport on my phone seemed good enough for this crossing. Don't try this at the airport. I extended my 20-minute fuel stop to a 2-hour detour of Lubec, take a few touristy photos, and then head back to Canada with a full tank. Before coming to the island, it was suggested to me to try the lobster roll, a sort of submarine sandwich stuffed with an insane amount of glorious lobster. But once I started asking around about who makes these lobster rolls, it was pointed out to me that on this blue-collared island, the top dollar lobster roll was more for special occasions and tourists. It was the fish chowder, a dish you were more likely to find on the locals' dinner table. And well, here we are, staring down the freshest fish chowder on the island.
People that live here have always had lobster.
Yeah.
I mean, that's no big deal. But then they started selling it in the canteens and the restaurants.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
The price changed.
the price changed. When I was a little girl, my grandfather bought me a dinghy because I liked to row.
Yeah.
We lived right next to the water up in the harbor. And he got me a lobster trap, but he cut it in two, made a half one for me so I could handle it.
A half a lobster trap?
Half a lobster trap. And I would set it down, there was a little point down from our house. I would set it, when I come home from school, I'd go haul my trap, and I'd always have one or two lobsters.
Oh, really?
Always.
Oh, that's awesome.
You could do that back then, now you can't.
Yeah, right, a lot more rules.
Yeah, they catch you with a lobster trap in the water now, you get a big fine.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
This island is a fisherman's food paradise. From lobster rolls to clam pie, and this incredible chowder that's unfolding before me. I could sit here all day, listen to this wonderful woman mesmerize me with menus, but the pot is boiling. Alchemizing inside of Sylvia's magical kitchen cauldron are boiling potatoes and onions. Next, in go the cubes of pollock. While that simmers, into a cast iron pan goes the 6 ounces of salt pork, then a tablespoon of black pepper into the pot. Next, a chicken-themed oven mitt to match the decor is used to add the sautéed salt pork to the pot. Then in goes a cup of the carnation milk. Then, 2 tablespoons of real butter are added, not some fake butter substitute made from plastic and palm oil, the real thing. Then another tablespoon of black pepper. Bring this magic to a savory simmer, and just like that, the chowder is ready.
Then it's done.
Oh wow, so pretty quick. Yeah, that's it, it's ready.
It's ready, just like that.
All right, this is gonna be good. My first Campobello fish chowder. Pretty good. It tastes like a foggy day dinner.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I think you nailed it.
The chowder is meaty, rich, and incredibly hearty. I can't believe how much the meal complements the environment. I can picture myself coming off of a long day hauling in fishing nets out in the open ocean with my hands aching and a full body chill. Then, rolling inside this quaint, steamy cottage at the end of Tinker's Lane to a hot bowl of hearty chowder. I feel like I'm in some sort of fisherman's fairy tale that's been read to me as a child. Then, as I think we've reached the zenith of this grandmotherly moment, my foggy daze is broken by the sound of Mrs. Tinker proclaiming,
Have you?
You gonna have a piece of pie?
A piece of pie?
Blueberry
Sure,
pie?
I'll like a little piece of pie, sure. I don't want to say no.
Well, you might as well have it while you're right here. I'll cut you a piece.
Wow, that's really nice of you.
the island is famous for wild blueberries, and I happened to be in the right house at the right time to try some.
Would you like green whip on it, or just the way it is?
Just the way it is. I
Yeah.
don't want to hide any of that
No,
flavor in
that's the way I like it too, just the way it is.
Lucky me. Wow, what an afternoon.
Holy, this is amazing.
After a delightful day cooking with Sylvia, I'm then forced to do a little campfire cooking alone for dinner in a segment I like to call Cooking with Kix.
Maybe we'll take a quick and whip up. Oh no, not this stick. That stick's rotten. Okay, not that stick. We're gonna find a stick that we're gonna barbecue the pork chops with, but it's not gonna be that one.
I built this slightly questionable fire with scraps of wood I found, boil up some potatoes,
They're bubbling hot, almost ready, I think, actually.
and whittle up a little cooking stick or two with the hopes of campfire cooking some pork chops.
So it should be soaked in there a little bit. A little Traveler's Friend black pepper here, Himalayan salt, pork chops and salt, and a little bit of garlic on here. Yeah.
Wait a minute, where are all these spices coming from? Well, a guy doesn't travel around the planet searching for food stories without the ability to pull off a few good meals from the back of his motorbike. Introducing the Moto Spice Rack. On the back of my bike, I've added a custom cooking supplies area, complete with fold-down bowl, cup, some cutlery, a knife, tinfoil, lighters, and of course, a selection of spices. I can usually whip up a flavorful meal with just about anything. And if you're wondering how good it is, it was part of a food and moto feature in this edition of Adventure Motorcycle Magazine. And it won me a little prize at an accessories contest at the Horizon Unlimited Motorcycle Rally, where I was later speaking about this trip. Not just a pretty face, people. I know what you're thinking. Why won't this guy just touch the pork chop? He's wandering around the woods with a pocket knife, but he's too scared to touch a pork chop? The last thing I'm interested in is touching the raw pork and then touching something else I'm going to eat and risk getting trichinosis. And the closest place to wash my hands is a 5-minute walk away. So I'll use this stick and the classy brochure to do all the dirty work, as they can both be burnt afterwards. Oh, I may have forgot to mention, there was a slug in the bottom of this pot before we got started. Hopefully his slimy little trail's cooked off nicely.
See the steamy pork chop.
Then a touch of pink Himalayan sea salt from the Moto Spice Rack, and we're ready to eat.
Look at that puppy, it's cooked amazingly. Pretty good. A little smoky from the campfire. Pretty good. More recipes like this one, please log into our website. Motorcycle camping, cooking / not having the right utensils.com. Delicious.
It's finally time to say goodbye to these wonderful islands, and I meet up with another group of curious bikers, and we all stop for some seaside fish and chips before departing. As I leave behind Campobello's enchanting lighthouses and roll onto one of the 2 ferries bound for the mainland, I can't help but marvel at how 2 people can grow up in the same country, yet live such wildly different lives. Where I come from, there was no hopping across the border for cheap gas, no lobster traps bobbing in the tide, and no fog-thick chowder simmering in a seaside kitchen. If you're craving a culinary journey wrapped in rich history, this little island on Canada's outer edge is worth packing a fork and a history book for. Thank you, Sylvia, for opening your home, sharing your table, and giving me a taste of Campobello's unique charm. Next time on the Cook Motorcycle Adventure, we're off to Dieppe, New Brunswick to discover the culture, cuisine, and incredible history of Canadian Acadians.